Hello and welcome back to Kirsten's Co. So I don't know about you, but whenever the new year rolls around, I'm like, I'm gonna start working out, I'm gonna start eating better, I'm just gonna start being better to my body and all that fun jazz. And then I always lose motivation and never do it. So this year I did everything I could to eliminate the barriers. And one of those things that I did was I found shows, which I'm gonna share with all of you, that like I will work out too because those characters would never let me slack off, or I would need to be able to keep, I would need to be fit or like in shape to be able to keep up with them in the show. And so I made a list of all of the shows that I would recommend to other people to do this. If like this is something that like you think will help you stay motivated for like working out or like whatever it like something to keep you motivated. For me, it's working out, and that's what I need the motivation for. Um, so I made a list of my shows that are super long because also like when I was like trying to come up with a show, I was like, well, I guess I could like watch this one show, but it's only like 3 or 4 seasons. That's only going to last me a little bit. What am I going to do after that? Because then I'm going to have decision fatigue on picking another show, and that's just going to prevent me from working out after that. Or like, I'm not going to want to pick another show. So I try to find really long shows so you would have a really long time before that happens. So here's my list. I also included some audiobooks in here because I know not everybody likes to watch shows. So if you are an audiobook person, I do have a couple in here for you as well. So the show that I decided to work out to, Supernatural, because it has 15 seasons and Sam and Dean would never let me slack off. And I would also need to be very much in shape to keep up with them. I really don't know how they do it, but they do. Dean might bribe me with pie, but like that's a whole other story. They definitely would not let me give up and would be right there with me. So the next two are kind of go hand in hand, are kind of similar, both very long shows, but Criminal Minds and NCIS. With Criminal Minds, like I would never pass Quantico's physical tests, and I would want to. I would need a Derek Morgan like being there to help whip me into shape. Yeah, and then like with NCIS, like you would have Gibbs and all of them to like help. I would want Ziva to be my personal trainer. Yeah, NCIS, like absolutely. So those are two shows. Um, NCIS is 20 seasons, or if you're like me and just watch that on Netflix, is 15, and Criminal Minds is 16 seasons, about to be 17. So very like some other very long shows for you. This next one is a mix of movies and TV shows. The entire Star Wars timeline. You start at the very beginning, chronological, like in order. You start at the very beginning, you watch all of the movies and TV shows. You learn to like train, like if you want to be like a Jedi and be able to like work like one of them, you need to be in shape. And that is, for me, that was perfect motivation. That's probably what I'm going to do after I'm done with Supernatural. Star Wars is probably next because I would love to be able to be a Jedi. So that is one that I highly recommend. In kind of that same realm, you have the entire MCU in chronological order, including the TV shows. That will keep you busy for a very long time as well. I don't know if it's as long as Star Wars. I want someone to find out. I want someone to tell me if MCU chronological order, including TV shows, is longer than Star Wars or not, or which one's longer. Someone let me know. But those two are very good options. Also very good fandoms, very easy rewatches. Another, so this one's a little bit more confusing. It kind of depends on how you want to watch it, but the entire Arrowverse, watch all of those shows. So yeah, like some of the shows in itself are only like 8 seasons or 5 seasons, but if you say that like if you're gonna watch all of them, that in itself would take you a while. And especially now that they're all done, you don't have to worry about like more seasons being released. So that would be a very good one. I do really like those, and I would love to be able to almost like work out next to the Arrow or Flash or Supergirl. That'd be a lot of fun. Um, and then you have, I did list like the Chicago shows. I've never seen the Chicago shows, but I know that there's a lot of seasons of them. I think that those would be a good option. One that I have seen, so the next ones that I have seen would be the whole Vampire Diary universe. Because if you're human, you would 100% need to train to keep up with them. And it's like pretty like you have 8 seasons of Vampire Diaries. I think you have 5 of the originals and 3, 4 of Legacies. So like you have a long ways to go with those, which is definitely really helpful and very entertaining. And similar with like Arrowverse, because you're going between shows, like it keeps up that excitement almost, and keeps interest. And so if you're a person who really likes rewatching shows, this is a really great way to like rewatch a show. Okay, so next are some of the audiobooks that I would suggest. So you have all of Throne of Glass in ACOTAR, um, pretty much all of the whole Sarah J. Maas universe. The way that I would love to train with Aileen, but the shape that I'm in now never happened. It would never happen. So I absolutely think that those would be a fantastic listen through while you're working out, because you better believe that in Throne of Glass, like Rowan, Aileen, Kale, even Dorian, Manon, like they are all gonna like make sure you are going to stay in shape. Lysandra even. And then in A Court of Thorn and Roses, you have Reese and Cassian and Az and Nesta and Feyre. Like they will all whoop you into shape. If you haven't read A Court of Silver Flames yet, like that just shows you how much they will whoop you into shape. And I know they do it for Feyre in one of the other books, and I don't remember which one it is, but still, like, very much so. I think that is a great listen through while you're working out. The next one, the entire Percy Jackson series plus like the sequels, because I know like the first 5 like aren't that long, but like the rest of them are. Yeah. Don't know about you, but I would love to be a demigod, so I would love to train like one. And you could even like modify your workouts to kind of like fit which thing you're watching or listening to. That would be really fun, like if you could like almost modify those workouts. And the last one is the entire Shadowhunter book series, not the TV show. TV show's only 3 seasons. So I mean, you can if you want to do the TV show, or if you want to like start with the TV show, that works. But the entire Percy Jackson book series is like what, 20 books, which how to read them is another video on my channel if you want to watch that. But that's a great one as well, because that will take you so long, and I would love to have Shadowhunter training. Can you tell that I really like these fighting training styles? Like, absolutely love it. That is my dream one day, to be able to take those classes so I can fight like some of these people. Okay, so I do have honorary mentions, shows that aren't necessarily as long, or like the characters wouldn't necessarily whoop you into shape, or you don't need to be as athletic. Like it's not, superheroes or villains, or Aileen, or like demigods or anything like that. But still really good options if none of the other ones sound interesting to you, or if you do want to have a little bit of shorter shows. With shorter shows, you could do Shadowhunters, the TV show. Another great one I think would be Charmed. The original Charmed, not the new one, the original Charmed. I think that would be fantastic. There is like some fighting that one. That one's kind of like on the fence. But I love that show. I love rewatching it. And it's one that I can't necessarily like sit down and watch the entire time. Anyway, I think that'd be a really good show. Avatar: The Last Airbender is only 3 seasons, so it's a little bit of a short one. But is really good. Maybe if you're looking for something like you want to run like 20 minutes or like do cardio for like the small episode, because like those are also shorter episode lengths. And so like if you want to do cardio for that like specific, like that might be a good show of like that's like your cardio show. Something like that. That might be fun. A few others all kind of go hand in hand, like Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl, One Tree Hill, kind of those old classic, really good rewatches, but they're not as long. With Pretty Little Liars, you could definitely be like, I'm working out so I could escape A. That might be motivation enough for you, but they're also just kind of like fun shows that can keep your mind distracted as you're working out. Outer Banks inspo to look like that. That might help, depending on what you're working out for. Another just really long one would be Grey's Anatomy. Like, definitely not, you don't need to be fit to be on Grey's Anatomy, or like to be along the characters. And the characters die too often to keep you motivated to keep working out, but like it's a good long show to keep you going for a while. And if you're also talking about like really long shows, I haven't watched it, but Doctor Who, I don't even know where you start with Doctor Who. And my last like honorable mention would be just going through like the OG Disney Channel shows. So like Sweet Life on Deck, Sweet Life with Zach and Cody, Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place. Those are great distractions, in my opinion. So that's pretty much like my list of my recommendations if you're trying to find a show or books to work out to, or like something to keep you motivated, or have you like feeling like you're encompassed in the world and like would want to fit into that world and need to be able to be fit or in better shape to be able to fit into that world. Those are my list. Do you have any that either you already work out to or that you're like, oh, these characters would 100% would not let me slack off and I need to work my butt off to be able to like fit into this show? Leave those down below because I'm really curious. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Keep getting lost in your dreams, and I will see you all next week. Bye.